Welcome to Talk Comics to Me. It's summer edition where it is extremely hot for no reason already.
There's no reason. It's only 12 days into May.
Yeah,
I mean, doesn't make sense.
There is a reason, but...
Because of the Al Gore cursing the land.
So yeah, it sucks. Anyway, hi, I'm Champ Champenstein.
I'm Heather Hadfield.
And we have 2 weeks of comics to talk about, so Heather, take it away.
Okay, we're just gonna blow right through
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna just get it out.
We might get a little silly halfway through because it is really hot.
Yeah, it is like exceptionally hot in here.
Just so you're aware. Okay, I have Frank Frazetta. How do you say his last name? Frazetta? Frazetta's Death Dealer. This is issue number 1. This whole story was based off of...
I'm the worst person to ask that.
And it's funny because I know who the artist is. Like, I've known who this dude is for years, but I was just like, yeah, I can say his name. And then I just tried to say it and couldn't do it. But anyway, this whole story is based off of the iconic portraits of Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. This follows the Death Dealer in his many shenanigans. It reminds me of like a weird mixture between like Barbaric and just Conan, because the helmet that he wears is cursed, and it's like making him be evil essentially. But he's still a man trying to do his due. In this story, he helps out a woman with a baby, and they end up like going back to his home or whatever. He's debating whether or not he wants to continue living while his helmet is like taunting him, like, oh, I know what's going on in your head, because he literally does, but they be banging. And then when he like comes back later after doing some killing, the woman's gone, so it starts his journey of like, oh, I gotta go rescue her, gotta rescue the baby, all that kind of stuff. It was surprisingly entertaining, just because it did feel like very abrupt, and I don't know. It was entertaining, and I did like it. Wasn't quite sure on the art when I was first flipping through it, but there are some of the violent scenes. Like, I love the colors in it. The violence and stuff was really cool. And I guess I like the idea of this story because I do like both Barbaric and Conan. I just thought it was funny that this whole book is just based off of that particular art. So we're gonna keep reading it.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
And I mean, it's like everything that I like in stories. It's just a very strange book.
Yeah. Okay, so I have Quests Aside. This is issue number 1.
We got a lot of number 1s today.
Yeah, there's a bunch. So a skeleton, an apprentice mage, and an exiled princess walk into a bar.
Love that.
For another shift at Quest Aside, the local watering hole run by once legendary, now retired adventurer Barrow. When the king privately explains that he plans to shut the place down, Barrow must find a way to hold onto his business and the family he's built around it. It's always sunny in the realms.
Oh god, I thought you were saying it's always sunny in Philadelphia. That's the dynamic, and I was like, whoa, what? I
suppose it's like what they're going for at times.
Okay.
But it's a really fun book. Brian Shermer is the writer. Elena Gogu. Yeah. Okay.
Or Gogao. Remember, we had wow.
Yeah, we'll go on. And then Rebecca Nalty is the colorist, and I really did like the art and the colors like quite a bit. But yeah, it's just like a fun little book about adventures in this like, you know, in a bar setting, and somebody's out for some revenge. And I did like the like dynamic of the guy finding out that the king, who is his like friend at one point, is like, yeah, I need this for like my war stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And you sounds very familiar. Yeah. Like a situation that we recently
and you gotta leave within 30 days.
Wow. It's, you know.
And so yeah, it's this was really fun. It was interesting. I liked it.
Does it have the same kind of feel as, like, because, you know, I read a lot of those kind of books. I don't know why I didn't end up getting that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But does it have the same kind of feel as, like, previous ones that we've read, where it's, like, D&D-esque.
Yeah, it definitely has that, like, feel, but also, like, something of its own at the same time.
Okay.
Because, you know, there isn't, like, people playing these, like, characters. They're, like, actual beings who exist in this world.
Okay.
It just is, like, yeah, I think it's, like, a fun little adventure book.
Cute. I meant to read it, like, last week, but I just kept getting distracted. I did read several others, but that one was, for some reason, one I didn't get to.
Yeah, I just really, really, really like the art a lot.
Yeah.
And the story was just, like, there was a lot of funny, like, aspects of it.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Okay, so next, we both have Grimm. This is also issue number 1.
Telling you, number ones.
This is by Stephanie Phillips and Flaviano, and then colored by Rico Renzi. And I actually had a lot of fun with this. Just a little Grim Reaper story, and her... What would you call it? What do you call it? Her
sickle?
No, the guy she's like
her
ward, I guess.
I was gonna say her charge.
Yeah, I guess those are both words that would work. The man she is taking into heaven or hell or the afterlife, he takes her sickle, and that's that.
Yeah, she's now on an adventure trying to get it back while also dealing with the higher ups who are not pleased that she lost it.
And the art in this book is just so fucking sick.
Yeah,
like the art and colors are just like so good.
I liked this a lot. It kind of reminded me of Carmen in a way, but not as like goofy at first.
Yeah.
It's just or The Sims.
What? The Sims, like the game?
Yeah, with the Grim Reaper and stuff. When you die, you get... I don't know. I just like Grim Reapers.
Yeah, just a Grim Reaper story. I enjoyed that more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by it too, because this was one where I didn't really read about it before I like just added it, because I was like, oh, death, the afterlife, she's taking him wherever he needs to go. So I honestly did not know what direction it was going to go. I was like, what am I reading? So it was very surprising, and I did like it a lot.
And I feel like we've read a few Stephanie Phillips stuff, and it can go like either way.
Yes.
So yeah, this was nice where I was like, oh, I actually like really enjoyed this. I mean, the art did really
brought it all together.
Yeah, it was just so good. So
yeah, I would say if you enjoy that kind of stuff, then probably
it'd be worth picking up.
Yeah. At least the first issue is like interesting enough to read. That's what I told a couple of people today, was like, it's not too much to get into, and if you do enjoy it for what it is, then I would say
it is something just like easy, fun, like
Okay, so next we got another number 1. This is Twig. This is a Scotty Young book, and Kyle Strom, Jean-Francois Boulet, and Nate Picos. I don't know why I had such a hard time saying that name.
Nate
Picos of Blambot.
This book was great.
I
loved every single thing about this book. I can't even... It's just a little man going on, or little creature going on an adventure. Little twig boy.
Doing his day job, and stuff does not go according to plan, and now he has to figure out the mystery. But of course, like every Scotty Young book that recently I have read, I feel like it's going to get deep.
Yeah, or just at least say something.
Yeah. It was another pleasantly surprising book, because I had no idea what it was going to be about, and I know he's very cute.
Yeah,
the
it's
art
just
in this
like
is
the
incredible.
art in this is so good, and Twig is just like the perfect little thing.
The panel layouts are very pleasing. It just everything about this book, especially for a first issue, was so solid.
The character design and the way everything looks. Yeah, it's a really good book. Yeah, it's definitely something where, when people were like, what should I expect? I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know, especially with like the way this book ended. It's so lighthearted in the beginning. It just feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Like a Disney movie where you're like, oh yeah, this is like, you gotta learn a lesson.
I do just want to show this page because I think it's really cute, and I hope they do this for all of the issues. This is just obviously a little creative art project that a reader did in a nutshell of Twig. I just thought that was very, very cute. I hope they have a lot of people who do this in all the issues because that was very nice to see. Okay. I'm just gonna show 2 books here. I just got these today, so I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but they are, I have The Pervert, which is a graphic novel, and it is an account of a trans girl surviving sex work in Seattle. It's just a little daily vlog, we'll say. I don't know. I just kind of read about it and then ordered it because I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. And I flipped through it today, and it does seem like something that I would enjoy, but I guess we'll see. It doesn't seem like it's going to take me a long time to read because a lot of it is just like quick words and images and stuff, so we'll see. And then the other one I have is Rockstar and Soft Boy, which is another cute little trade. I don't know if actually this is a trade or if it's just like a couple issues, you know, like just one single story, but it's just about 2 gay best friends living it up in Hollyweird. So it's one of the friends is trying to get his other friend laid. I don't know. It just sounded like it would be a lot of fun. And I do like Scenic Grace, so I'll let you know when I read it how it is. So.
Okay. I have Blind Alley. This is issue number 1. This is a little behemoth book.
I love how little it is.
Yeah, it is actually smaller than other comics. Legitimately.
It's just a very cute book.
But yeah, it's a story about a man who has a rough history and goes back home after stuff stuff goes awry, and that's kind of it. Maybe he's not getting, he's getting set up with his old friends who might not be the best to be around sort of situation.
Did you enjoy it? I can't remember if I asked you about it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the art a lot, and I like the colors like quite a bit. The story was really interesting, which is I put it on my profile because I wanted to
make sure you got them.
Yeah, and see what happens, just because it was intriguing enough where it's just like, well, I need to know what happens to this man now that he's home.
Yeah.
But it seems like it could be one of those stories where, stuff goes sideways.
Yeah. And it could go either way on whether or not it's an enjoyable book to read. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I've recently been enjoying pretty much every Behemoth book that I've ordered.
That's how I feel. Like I don't feel. No, there was one, that Stargirl book was the one.
Oh yeah,
was the one book I did not really enjoy, but that I don't think was any fault of the books necessarily.
Yeah. You only got the first issue.
Yeah,
of
that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that book was just not for me, but otherwise every Behemoth book I've read I really enjoyed too.
It looked good at least.
Yeah,
the art.
about Stargirl, it did look great.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So next we have Jurassic League. This is issue number 1. This is just a fun little story about the Justice League as dinosaurs.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's written by Juan Gideon and Daniel Warren Johnson, and then Juan Gideon does the art, and then the colors are by Mike Spicier. But yeah, it was just, this book was a lot of fun. There's nothing else to say about it. It is legitimately what that is. You kind of get every Justice League character's little backstory, or like some of them, and you're introduced to them and how they came to be, and that's
their names. I think are my favorite part because it's so goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
Growltham City,
Black Mantisaurus. Yeah. I just like, some of them were just so funny.
Joker's art.
Yeah. What was Aquaman's again? I can't remember. don't think it even says it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. But anyway, yeah, Justice League as dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything else. Just get it.
It's only, I was going to say, it's 6 issues. It's like if you're just looking for a fun
I was saying just
little
like
DC book, like it's just, even just any book, actually, it's very lighthearted.
Yeah, it's just like I said before, it's just a shut your brain off book where you just like, I want to have a fun time. I don't care. It's like, it's comic books.
Yep.
I don't have to read it to be serious. Okay, Heather, we actually have this first.
Oh shoot, I forgot about that one. Okay.
Heather just read this. I got the first issue, and I special ordered the second issue. But this is 8 Billion Genies. This is by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown.
It's the team that did Curse Words, right? Both of them? Okay.
Yeah. And this is just a story about if everybody in the world got their own genie.
You only get one wish, though.
Yeah, you only get one wish, and then they disappear forever. And the only person on the planet who makes the smartest wish is a man, the bartender, the guy who owns this bar everybody's in. So basically, he wishes that none of the wishes outside of the bar affect anyone inside of it or the bar itself. And so,
that I didn't even take into consideration like how smart that was.
Yeah, it's like the best wish, especially if you like know that everybody in the world is getting their own wish. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's just chaos.
Yeah. And that was selfless too. Yeah, helped everyone within the very, very good wish.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where I really enjoyed this first issue. I thought it was like a very interesting idea. It could go either way though, honestly. It's just like I don't necessarily know. I know you'll have the dichotomy between the people and like the bar, but where do you really go from here to make it like as interesting?
Right. And I am really excited to see like, because one of the other people wasted their wish already, and it was so...
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, like right away too. So I am excited to see like what the other people wish for and what is happening outside of the bar. So I will read number 2 when it comes in. Okay. I have Batman. This is issue number 123. I had to flip through this again because this was last week. And it took me a minute to kind of remember what was going on. But basically, it's part of Shadow War, and it's part 5. I did miss the Shadow War Alpha, and I was just telling Champ, I feel like I might have missed something like important within that one issue. But basically, Batman and Robin are trying to find Deathstroke because someone dressed up as him or was pretending to be him and killed someone. So they're trying to find him, but it ends up not being him, obviously. Like there's bigger pieces to the puzzle. So yeah, this is them trying to figure out where he is and what he's doing. And then on the opposite side, it's him trying to get away and like figure out who is trying to be him.
Yeah.
So it is really interesting. But again, like I feel like I missed like one important piece of the story, and I just kind of feel like I'm floating and I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to go next. So yes, this is Shadow War. And I don't think there's a story at the end.
Well, do you think if you had read like the Robin or the Deathstroke issue that they're connected to, it'd make more sense?
Maybe. See, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that the Shadow War thing was going to be another one of those that was across. So I just didn't think anything of it, and I was just like, nah, I'm just doing Batman. So maybe I will have to like go back and find the other issues that are within this.
Maybe it would like
war.
fill in some pieces.
Yeah. Because I know what's going on, but again, there's like something crucial that I did not catch. So, yeah, maybe I will just go back and try to figure it out. Or maybe I'll just keep reading and just every issue just be very confused.
I mean, you only have like, what, 2 more?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because 125 is the new chip.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I do like it, though. That's all.
I have Batman Killing Time. This is issue number 3 of 6, and this issue introduces the like bad guy So
okay.
the Riddler and Catwoman and Penguin team up. Catwoman and Riddler beat the shit out of Penguin, put him in the hospital. Penguin hires a character by the name of the Help to start to kill them, and that's what that is. And then you find out like what the object they stole is and like its significance to Bruce. I don't know. I still really enjoy it. I do have a friend who said it was boring, but that's that. I thought this particular issue, I made them buy this issue. Yeah. I made them buy that issue because I was like, well, it is probably the most stuff happens in that issue, because you have like Batman fighting the bad guy and then like him chasing after like Catwoman and Riddler like running away. So there's like a lot happening. I don't know. I like the story.
Okay.
I like the narration. I like the beats of it. I think it's interesting, like the way it's unraveling and like the way you're watching this object that got stolen throughout time and how it ends up in the hands of the people it ends up in. So,
and it is only 6 issues.
Yeah,
so.
and it's only 6 issues, so it's not like it's anything really.
Right. Well, that's good. As long as you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I have heard like many different things, but I mean, yours is really the only opinion that I trust anyway. So
yeah, I mean that's just me, but I think it's good.
All right.
Whatever. Okay, so now we have Moon Knight. This is Black, White, and Blood. This is issue number 1. So they've been, I mean, I guess basically every publisher has had some sort of like 3-color book at this point. Mm-hmm. But this one's in red, white, and black.
And it's, I mean, you read the Elektra one as well.
And the Wolverine one.
And the Wolverine one, yeah, that's right. It's, literally just what they've been doing for those. There's 3 different stories in here, 3 different writers, 3 different artists. Mm-hmm. Just little Moon Knight, little tidbits.
Yeah, I did really like the story of Spider-Man.
That was
the best story out of all the...
That was the one I was just like... I don't know why, it just made me really happy reading it. It was it was a very good one.
It was a lot of fun, for sure. Okay, now it's your turn.
I just swallowed and it made like weird popping noise. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear, so everything's fine. It was just sudden. Okay, I have Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha. So I ended up... I didn't realize that I had added Alpha. I just wanted the main series, but apparently you need to read this in order to like read the rest of it. There's, I think, 4 issues in the actual series, but the reason I got it is because each issue deals with a different Marvel villain in this 2099 universe. The first one was like Winter Soldier, second one is Loki and stuff, and this one doesn't have any of them in it. I mean, it does have a villain, but it's not what I thought it was. Yeah. So I had to actually look it up because I was so confused. I did not read 2099 at all, like the previous series that everyone goes crazy over. But basically, this is in a cataclysmic crash creates a new Garden of Eden in what was once the American wastelands. So that's basically it, and it's Spider-Man just like trying to figure out what's going on and like who the bad guy is in this.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoyed it, I guess. It was just like, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this universe at all. I've never read like a Spider-Man book before, so I did not know what I was getting into, because the way that I read the solicits was like, number 1 was this, number 2 was this, and each one is its own separate story. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a dum-dum because I didn't know what I was doing, and I should have just read a little bit more, but I think it does help reading this because now I know, like, this is the situation that arose, and these are the stories that are coming out from it.
Yeah.
So it helped, but it was a very weird choice for me, and so I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you were like, I'm going to get this book, and I was like, all right, dude, I don't know why, but that's fine.
Yeah, it was very strange. I was just curious to see, like, essentially post-apocalyptic bad boys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to read about it, especially because, again, each one was different, and the Loki one was like him trying to resurrect Asgard after Ragnarok, and I was like, that could be interesting. Mm-hmm. I like that kind of shit. That's not that. So yeah, Spider-Man 2099 fans will enjoy it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of Spider-Man 2099 fans just wanting that book all at once when it came out 2 weeks ago. I was just like, what's going on?
We did get a few more copies in today.
Okay, well,
so,
good.
Yeah.
Good. I hope all the Spider-Man 2099 fans get their book.
Yeah.
Their hot book.
They're very hot. People love it.
Okay, so next we have Little Monsters. This is issue number 3. I don't know.
You get a little bit of history of one of the main characters in here, and it kind of, with that history, it gives you more of an idea of what has happened, the event that is leading to all these kids being alone and being vampires. So I thought that was really cool.
I just don't know about this.
I know. It's very strange.
Like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I enjoy it. And then other times I'm like, I don't really like this. Mm-hmm. It's like there's something about it I don't necessarily like. And I think it's like maybe the pacing.
It could be. I think for me, it's the way that each issue ends. Like, obviously comics are going to have cliffhangers every issue because that's what keeps you coming back. But they just seem so like, I don't care necessarily when the cliffhanger comes. I'm like, okay, but you could have just like done one more page and like explained it, or you didn't have to do it that way. But yeah, I think overall I do enjoy it because I think, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I was like, I like vampire stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really like stories. I don't know. Yeah, there's just something about it.
Yeah, I just think I really do think it's the pacing. It's just like a little too slow. And it's like, I know it's only a few issue series, like what, 6?
But I think that's probably why. It's because it just feels like it's dragging to get to this certain point, and we know there's only a certain amount of issues. So like, what is the main point?
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah,
I just feel like strange. Yeah. We'll see as it goes. It's not like it's bad. It's like I'm not taking it off my pull file by any means. It's just like, come on, just give me something more, just like a little bit.
I just want to zoom in on this cover because it reminds me of 30 Days of Night.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like the covers for them. I think they're really good, and the art is really good.
Is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. So next we have a Farmhand. This is issue number 17. I don't have a lot to say about this because it's just 17 issues into this book, and a lot has happened in that 17 issues, but just confronting what the fuck's happening in this town.
The seed is growing. It's taking over people. They're trying to work around it.
Yeah. That's
pretty much it. Families are falling apart.
Families are falling apart. That is not wrong.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, I still like it because I do want to see like what happens in the end, especially like the way this like issue like ended, and I like the dynamics of it. It is, I think, just like the break and like coming back to it. It's just like, damn, I kind of wish this was just like over.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's a fault of the books by any means. I think if it had been able to have like that normal like year break,
it's the same thing with Saga.
Yeah, and then come back like. Here it's like, at least with Saga, like at least with this, I tend to enjoy it more.
Yeah,
and I kind of do. I just want to see I just want to see the conclusion. I just want to see how it like wraps itself up because I do think there's like an interesting story in there.
And there was quite a twist at the end of this one too. So no, I agree. I think that. I don't know, how many more issues was it supposed to be? 26?
Yeah,
is that
26,
what they said?
I think it was 26.
Okay, so we got like the rest of this and then one more arc essentially. So
it's not like, it's not much. It's just I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it feels. It's definitely with the break. It just feels like it was a long time.
Yeah. Well, it was. It was like 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a 2-year break. I just meant like the book itself.
Oh,
it
right.
Felt like it feels like it's gone forever.
Right.
But it's like, no, it was just gone for like a period of time, and now it came back, and you're like, what?
Yeah, like what's, yeah. Yes. I also do still really enjoy it, and I'm very surprised by that, but it's good. Okay, I'm gonna go. So this is Nottingham. This is issue number 7. I didn't actually get a chance to read this one because this was this week.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't get to it. was weird. But this is just the sheriff of Nottingham trying to figure out where Robin Hood and his merry men are because they're wreaking havoc on the entire kingdom that they're in. A lot of historical stuff goes on in here, which I had mentioned for the last issue. I'm not sure what is going on in this one yet, but yeah, I will figure it out. A lot of characters from the first story arc that were helping Robin Hood and his men who were supposedly prisoners are now free, and they're kind of doing their own thing against Robin Hood, but also not working with the Sheriff of Nottingham. So,
all right, so just like 3 different sides.
Yep, and they all have their, because there's like Robin Hood on one end, there's the sheriff on the other, and then this character who was originally working with Robin Hood was abandoned by them, so now she's doing her own thing. She's like, you know what? No, taking those dudes down.
It's fair.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
leave me in prison? No.
I'm gonna, fuck your shit up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess. Okay. I suppose I'll go on. This is Dark Beach. This is issue number 2. This is our little detective story about after the sun goes out.
Has it been a month since that came out?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my gosh. It only feels like it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, and this is also a Behemoth book, so here we go again. But yeah, I really like this story. I completely forgot about the aspect of the sun no longer existing in this universe and that they were like living in domes and stuff. It's fine. It came back to me pretty quickly as I was reading it. But I do think that's obviously an interesting aspect of this book. I really like it. I do. I really think it's an interesting, like, mystery. And
how's the investigation going in this? Because if I remember correctly...
Poorly.
Okay, I was going to say they were investigating the death of someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's still investigating the death and kidnapping of, like, more than one person.
Okay.
And it's all because of some secrets, as you find out. Spoiler alert. In this issue, some secrets about, like, what happened to the old sun.
Okay.
And,
like why it's no longer there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that it wasn't like a natural incident, and maybe...
Oh, it was the government.
Or like, scientists, human beings, somebody else caused it. So, yeah. I don't know. It's a good little story, like good little mystery.
Okay.
And yeah, I really do think the aspect of it being like, oh, the sun's out is really weird.
That's what I had liked about it, because I mean, scientifically, you know that, like, if the sun goes out, we obviously won't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was really cool about it, where it's like, oh, okay, so we've just been scared by scientists our entire life. We can exist without the sun.
Well, and that's not, they only were able to save, like, a small area and dome that in and, like, create these, like, domes with sunlight.
That's sick.
Sun. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, that's something I like about it. Okay, so now we have Once and Future. This is issue number 25.
We're thick in it.
Yeah, really, really deep into the story. And this is just Robin Hood. We meet Robin Hood and his merry men.
And our 3 little pals go through some trials to become merry men as well. For many reasons they do it, but it's mostly for their benefit. We love Once and Future.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Did you read...
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, bless you. Did you read this?
No, I didn't get a chance to read the annotations.
I read a lot of it, actually. It goes into... it's by Ollie McNamee, writing about how Kieran Gillen took a lot of these Arthurian tales and, like, obviously translated them for us to read.
Yeah.
But it goes into kind of each one of the characters that's within the books. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I didn't mean to read it. I just
I was wanting to go back and read it, but I just, like, completely forgot until I was flipping through it, and I was like, oh yeah, this was a interesting idea that I liked that they put back here.
It was a very, very good kind of author's note, I guess, to read.
Well, that's like one of those things, like, whenever I sell it to somebody, I, like, talk about that aspect, but then I'm just like, well, you don't have to know about it to read it. You'll be fine. Just do it.
Yeah, that's how I always sell it too. I'm just like, well, if you're fascinated by any of these characters, like, let me tell you what the story is about, like, just vaguely, and then you can decide. Like, it's so accessible.
Yeah.
So good.
And the art is also just, like, so good that I think it's an easy, like, easy read, and, like, it's so, yeah.
I ended up selling it to, I can't remember what his name is now, but he was asking me about it, and I was like, well, just look. Look at the art. It's so good.
Yeah, the art is wonderful. It's a beautiful little story.
I'm glad that it's lasted this long, because it was only supposed to be one story arc originally. Do you remember that? Like, they were only doing 7 issues.
No.
And then they just kept adding to it. Or no, It was supposed to be 6 issues originally, and then they just keep adding to it. So I'm very glad that they did that.
Yeah. I will be, honestly, I'll be glad when it, like, does wrap itself up and find its end, but I do like it a lot.
Yeah. I like that it's just able to keep going, because there's so many different stories you can do and intertwine them and keep us interested still. Okay, so I'm going to go. This is Human Remains. This is issue number 8. This is the last issue. I still do not have issue number 3, but I did happen to read this because I wanted to see what the conclusion was, and they kind of made it seem like there could be more, but they're not going to.
Okay.
Which I like when people do that. But basically, the aliens ended up coming down to Earth and killing everyone who makes noise above a certain volume. When the story starts, there's a couple that's getting married, and it's them throughout the issues trying to deal with this while being newly married and seeing everyone die. One of the other stories in here is a scientist who's like, I think I can figure out how to stop this. So, and then a priest who is like, this is the end. God hates us.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But yeah, no, this was just the conclusion of it, and it kind of explains like where each character ends up, and I really liked this. I can't wait to get issue number 3 so I can go back and read this rest of the story, because I want to know what happens like in between. But I do think, 8 issues was perfect. It was just the right amount. I don't feel like you need any more or any less. Like, it tells a really good story with all these characters and ties them up very well. So, that's all.
So, I have Nightmare Country. This is issue number 2. It's a book that takes place within the Sandman universe. And this issue did actually make the first issue make way more sense.
Okay, good.
So,
I was going to ask.
That is helpful. Because the Corinthian, the man with silver hair and mouths for eyes. Yeah. He comes across, God, I cannot remember this girl's name. The main character of this book, the young woman who has been painting what seems to be him or something that's like him. And he's just basically like, how do you know this person? How have you ever seen them? Like, what's going on? Is this something that you've seen in a dream? And she's just like, no, I did not see him in a dream. I see him like walking. I used to think that this was like a reflection of my depression sort of like thing. And it's a really like, I don't know, it's really weird and creepy, and I really liked it. They also have like a little Andrea Sorrentino like does a little guest part where the Corinthians walking through like the library in the dreaming worlds, where like basically people kind of write their own like books and stories just based off their like thoughts and ideas and like dreams and stuff like that. And I thought that was like a really cool.
That is really cool.
I really liked that dynamic. But yeah, now that I feel like I understand a little bit more, that like that was helpful.
Okay.
But that first issue did just like leave me in such a way where I was like, what the fuck?
I know. I had to have Whit like explain it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know anything about this. And they made it seem like you could just jump in and read it. And they lied to me.
And it is something where like, yes, in retrospect, you can just like jump in and read it, but
I mean, there's so many little things like that character at the end.
Yeah.
We didn't know that he didn't exist before.
And I didn't get it until this issue that the character in the end wasn't somebody that, they all knew.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was like that's the kind of frustrating thing about it, is it like left you on that note where you're just like, well, who the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this? And I suppose that's the same for anybody who knows anything about the Sandman universe.
Right.
But somebody who's kind of coming in, like, super blind. It's just, like, yeah, I was just like, do I know this dude? Do I not know this dude? Like, what effect is this supposed to have on me? And now I understand the effect it was supposed to have on me. And it was still supposed to be, like, who the fuck is this dude?
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
okay.
So I suppose it did what it was supposed to do, but at the same time, it was just, like, frustrating. And if I hadn't held out, if I had been like, well, maybe I shouldn't read this because I don't know, I would have done myself a disservice.
Well, I'm glad that the second issue kind of cleared up a lot of the problems that you had in the first one. Now I'll have to read it, because I was going to ask you about it before I, like, kind of picked it up.
Yeah, I would say definitely read it again. There is a part with the Corinthian killing a young gay man in there. So that was, like, a little... I did not like that part of it.
Yeah, I don't like that, but...
Especially because it kind of, like, goes into his story, like, his backstory, just, like, in the smallest of ways. And then, like, yeah. So that kind of sucked.
All right.
But it is still enjoyable.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And
I'll give it a chance.
You win some, you lose some. So next we have 7 Secrets. This is issue number 17. And now we have learned what Casper truly is. And...
There's one issue left.
Yeah, that's it.
One issue left, yeah. Eamon ingested a demon that has now taken over his body, because that was what his role was in this whole story. Yes, we find out what Casper's role is, and it's all coming to a head.
Yeah, Eamon sucks, bro. I told you. Told you from the beginning.
Yeah.
I
still think he's a really cool, like, bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, not like cool, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
I understand. He's a good bad guy.
Yeah.
And he does, like, kind of twist you for a second.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, that's what I like most about those kind of bad guys, is, like, you feel for them. But then, yeah, no, this dude's a dick.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
This sucks.
He sucks. No need for a redemption arc there.
No, that's not. You can't do it. Like, I mean, you might have been able to do it, like, several issues ago, but, like, no, there's not even a possibility of it now. And I wouldn't even fight for it. And I fight for every villain's redemption.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, it's really good. One issue left, and I love it, and I am glad that it is coming to a close.
Yeah.
But I'm just, like, I kind of feel sad, too, at the same time.
I don't know. I don't feel sad. I think I've been ready for this, like, to end for, like, a while. I don't feel like it needed to be so many issues, or if it did, like, maybe put some other stuff in there.
I wish we had gotten to the secret sooner, because now we only have one issue left, and I just feel like that was something that needed to be talked about more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, like, kind of supposed to be the thing, too. It's just, like, the big secret revealed right before the end, but then it also gives you, like, the ability, even if, however this ends, to do more stuff. Because
there was a lot of stuff that happened in this one where I was, like, I asked, like, because Julian and I were talking about it, and I was like, I feel like I missed something, because there was, like, a lot of stuff that happened in there that confused me, that made me think, like, well, was this another one of the secrets that I just, like, happened to miss? Is that, like...
Well, I think that's also the thing, is, like, they're all secrets, so...
Yeah.
And we don't know them.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, like... And obviously, like, some of them don't know it, so it doesn't... I think that's kind of also the thing that's supposed to be within it, is, like, those little secrets where you, like, oh, what? But it is a secret that's just, like, coming to be.
Yeah. It's a nice little story.
It's fun.
It's cute. Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, we both,
Yeah, technically you read this, but it's mine.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I have Batman Urban Legends. This is issue number 15. I really don't know what else I can say about this that I haven't said before. It's just a bunch of short stories from the DC universe that deal with different characters, different writers, anthologies, if you will. 15 issues in, and it's the same thing that's been going on. So that's all. That's all I can say about that. I still like it.
Yeah.
I still enjoy every story. This is nearing the end of this like arc in a way, because one more issue ends a majority of the stories that are in there. Okay. So I don't know if they're going to continue with it after these ones or not, but I would be okay with it either way.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, Heather read this.
I did read that.
This is Dogs of London. This is issue number 1. It says about a one-time gangster who has been knighted and become a swell guy within society.
He was touched by the queen and now he's a good man.
And then his past seemingly comes back to bite him in the ass. That's it. That's Dogs of London. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'll read the second issue.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
I might read it off the wall, but it wasn't like it was a bad story. It just was not a very well told story.
Yes, I agree. It was like a generic Goodfellas.
Yeah. It's just like, you're burying bodies in bad places.
You compare yourself to dogs because you and the boys are rough. Like,
yeah, it's all right. It is what it's supposed to be. It's not bad. It's just not a book for me, fellas.
Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, there are so many stories that I've read that are like that I'm like, yeah, I get it. I have no need.
And if anything, I would say read that Bog Bodies book by Declan Shovley, because that book was awesome and kind of like the same idea. I guess not really. It's just like crime thriller stuff.
Right. Okay. That's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Switch it on up on you. Okay, go ahead.
Me?
Sorry. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, yeah. And then we go together.
Okay.
Technically, again.
I have Jim Henson's The Storyteller Shapeshifters. This is book 3 of 4. This is about Kitsune. And if you don't know what that is, it's a little fox that shapeshifts. I know I say this every single issue, but I absolutely love this issue. This one was very, very, very cute. Did not make me cry, but it was just it was done really well. Basically, this kid runs into this woman. Well, they're the same age. He runs into this young girl. They end up like talking and meeting up like every day. They get married eventually, and his family they're not too sure of her. They don't understand. Something happens, and she shows that she is actually a fox, and she disappears. Years and years and years go by, and he is just waiting for her to come home, because he doesn't care about that. Like, his family is like very, very upset that they didn't see through it, and like they hate her, all that kind of stuff. But she does end up coming back at one point to like bring him her kid, like their kid together and stuff. He raises her, never takes another wife or anything, just waits for her this entire time. And when he gets old, there's like an event, and his wife jumps in to save him, and he's like, I've been waiting for you this whole time. Why wouldn't you come back? And it's because she thought that he wouldn't want her anymore because she was not who she said she was. And it was just a very, very sweet ending. I loved it.
That's good.
Yeah. And I love the art for this one. I feel like the art just gets really good every time.
Yeah, the art is really good on that.
The colors are so good. Yeah. I really enjoy these stories. I like that each one is just its own thing. You don't need to read the whole series if you don't want to. But the narrator is worth reading the whole series. Mm-hmm. Yes. Very, very good.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so next we have Ish. This is just a little one-shot. This is just kind of like a little story about grief.
I got about halfway through it.
I say a little, like, basically little, like, comic vignettes about grief and about losing somebody when you're young and trying to heal from it. And I really liked it. It was, like, the storytelling was weird, even though I knew what it was. I suppose I also wasn't prepared for it to kind of just, like, focus on one moment of grief. But I still really liked it a lot. So,
yeah, I'll have to finish reading it. I completely forgot to bring it, and it wasn't in my pile of stuff to, like, finish reading to bring so we could record. So I never got around to finishing it, unfortunately. I did read, like, half of it at work one time because I just got kind of sucked into it. It made me a little weepy, and so I had to put it down, as books do. But yeah, I will pick it up and I'll finish it.
Yeah, I'm surprised this didn't, like, make me too weepy. It just, like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe the feeling it gave me, but I really enjoyed it a lot. So, okay, I'm gonna go.
Do it.
Because the storm's coming.
Oh my god.
And we lose power really easily here. So, this is West of Sundown. This is issue number 2. This is... I'll just read the back because that's always easiest. Thank you, Vault. New York socialite and vampire Constance has arrived in the frontier town of Sangre de Moro. Now she'll have to survive monster slayers, gunmen, and the harsh New Mexico sun to get what she needs. Soil from the place where she was rebirthed immortal. So yeah, it's just about Constance trying to get to her, like, native soil, like, her background and how she kind of became what she became. And then, yeah, Frankenstein is a monster hunter.
I love that. That's a cute little twist.
It's like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's fine. It's what it is.
I did not add that to my poll. Because I only special ordered that first one, which I never got.
Yeah. It sucks because you should have just seen if you can grab the second printing.
I keep forgetting to ask about it because I did like the first one quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like, it's fun. Somebody asked me, and I said that it just is it's very much a Tim Seeley book. It just feels like a Tim Seeley book, but it's written by Tim Seeley and Aaron Campbell. I really like the art too, so which Jim Terry. So yeah, it's not like, I don't know, it's just silly. It's just a silly book more than anything. It's something you're not going to be like, I'm going to take this seriously.
Right. Yeah, just a nice little vampire monster story.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So next we have Norse mythology. This is issue number 4 of part 3.
This is coming to the end.
Everybody's dicks. That's, like, all I can take out of this is, like, every single god sucks. I don't know why anybody likes gods.
I don't know.
They all suck. They all are terrible.
They're all mean.
They all, like, fuck with each other. None of them are really, like, I don't know. They don't give a shit about kids, old people, like, dumb people. Just, they don't give a shit. They all, I don't know. I don't know what I'm taking out of this Norse mythology book, but it's like, I hate every single iteration of any god that's ever existed. I think that's just the book itself, the paper.
Yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, this is just leading up to Ragnarok, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen in the next one, and the only reason Ragnarok happens is because of everything that happens in this issue.
Which makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just like all of them suck. Every and like I said, once again, every iteration of like a higher power is just like kind of shitty.
It's weird in this though, the way that Loki's kids die in here, because that's not, I don't know, I feel like that's the wrong version of it, because I've read several different versions of what happens, but this does not make sense to me, because the wolf is not Sigun's kid, it's Angrboda's. So they just like left out Loki's whole other life completely. I don't know. Anyway, I've always said I don't really care for Gaiman as a writer.
Yeah,
but it's just there's just some weird things in here that I didn't like.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't care like that. I think this is like, it is what it is. And even if that's the thing about like interpretations of things is that there can be so many different interpretations.
Well, and that's why I got confused because I've read several different, but I've never read like this particular version of it. And so I was just confused when I was reading it because I was like, that's not how I remember it. But I mean, yeah, everyone tells it differently, and if you want to do that, that's fine. But anyway,
it's called storytelling, Heather.
Yeah. So this is the Cimmerian Hour of the Dragon. It's issue number 3. I don't know what I can honestly say about this one either. Conan is trying to take back his throne after being taken prisoner by another king who's trying to take his throne. I think there's like one issue left. It's kind of weird because the first one is the only one where he was like not king. He's been free ever since then. He's been like just kind of playing to figure out like how he's gonna get his revenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one issue left is to be continued. So we'll see. He's also trying to take down a necromancer, so
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in this one, yeah. I did go back to the first couple and read the stories here, so it makes a little bit more sense, but it is just so much to read, and it's so tiny that it's just hard for me to get caught up.
It's basically a book.
I know.
It's basically a book. It's just like make it somehow bigger and add more pages.
I know, that would be like that. It would help.
Yeah,
it would definitely help. Even if they ended up making it a few more issues to make the story more.
Yeah,
that's fine. But just make it so I can read it, because I can't read font that tiny.
I don't think any human being can.
It takes forever.
And the people, like the human beings, like that have good enough eyes to read font that small, aren't allowed to read that book.
No,
they're children.
No.
Old people can't read that book.
I think I need to get like a magnifying glass. I think that's the only way I'll be able to do it.
Okay. I will go. I'll continue on. I have Monkey Meat number 5. This ends the small anthology of Monkey Meat, this first little story arc. They are going to make more. But yeah, just a different little issue. This kind of tells the downfall of the Monkey Meat Corporation. So that was a lot of fun. It was just like, that's what I like about this book a lot. It's just, it is literally a lot of fun, and it is saying other things at the same time.
Okay.
And if it's not trying to, it accidentally does.
Because it talks a lot about like capitalism and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like, how kind of corporations take advantage of stuff, and but doing it in a way that's just like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think dummies can read it and be like, yuck it up.
Yuck it up.
Dummies can read it and yuck it up.
I am going to write that down because I absolutely love that.
It's recorded live for everybody to know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun book. I just realized that there's a little comic on the back of this.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look at. That is cute.
It's disgusting. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that book. I think it's worth picking up the trade and kind of just like flipping through it and reading it. The art's great.
And again, it's only 5 issues, so that's awesome.
And it's going to continue, but you cannot continue to read it.
Now, can you say it's an anthology? Can you just grab like issue number 3 and read that?
Yes.
Like, there's no overarching story. Okay.
There are little pieces that kind of like overarch, but it's not like you have to know that.
Right.
It is easily one of those anthologies where you could grab whatever off the wall and read it, because they give you like the little like every issue has the little excerpt like, this is what Monkey Meat is, and this is like what this does, and then you go into the story, and it's
okay. Very good.
Yeah. So
this is our last one.
We have Deadly Class, and this is issue number 52. This is A Fond Farewell Part 4. We do a couple time jumps here. And I don't really want to go into this too hard, like we always say about Deadly Class. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
I meant to ask you about it because we had talked about it last week after you had read it.
Yeah.
But I completely forgot to ask you.
I love Marcus a lot. I just don't know. This doesn't feel right.
No, it feels
like this issue in particular feels like a weird, and I feel like this one in particular, maybe not any of the past ones, but this feels like a weird dream sequence that doesn't make any sense.
I was going to say it doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like this is what's actually happening. It feels like something bad happened, and this is what like Marcus is thinking in its place.
Yeah, and that's how I feel as well. I don't think that's the case.
I know.
Which is fine. We'll find out. We'll find out as like time continues. Obviously, this leaves off in a way where what we're saying we know isn't real, because why would you have a dream sequence end in such a manner? Yeah, I don't know.
We're getting to the
end, and I'll see. Like, I always do really enjoy Rick Remender's endings. I've never I don't think I've met an ending of his that I don't like. Yeah, we'll just really see. We just really have to see where it goes from here. It's not bad. I want to know. I think that's it. More it than anything, especially now that we're here. We're at this point. Remember when I started making you read this book?
Yes.
And now we're at that point because we've talked about it for a while about what happens when it ends, and now we're here at that what happens when it ends. And I think I'm still
we have four issues left.
Yeah, and then what happens when it ends? Who goes where? What happens? We'll see.
Because we need our girl back too.
Yeah, of course I need my girl back.
We just need her. Yeah, that's just the end of it.
And that's it. That's all we got. That's all we got to talk about. We beat the storm.
Barely. I hear it out there.
I've seen some lightning too. So, thanks for listening. Go support your local comic book shops. Go support your local libraries. If you can, I suppose, vote, especially in your local elections. If you can, donate money to trans kids or trans youth across the United States. Stuff is rough out there for all of us. And as always, we appreciate you. Heather, what you got over there?
Take care of yourself in the heat. Honestly, that's it's bad. Not just the weather, I'm just saying in general, it's bad. Just things. So look after yourselves, look after the people you love.
Yeah. All right. We love you, and we will see you on the flip-flop, flippity-flip. Later, baby.
Bye.
Yeah.